games.
Yeah, man. We're not wasting any time today.
Yeah. Normally I have time to drink my tea before we get into the game shot, but not anymore. Over here we have my tea that I mix with Pepsi. Lucira. Very, very deadly player. Zerg forever. Fighting.
What's that?
He's wiggling. He's wiggling.
Oh,
He's
that's
so
a
excited.
baneling.
That's, of course, it's a baneling.
I wasn't sure. It looked like a mask with feet. I don't know.
In the bottom right starting location, Lucira's opponent. Seiji.
Quite
Sage.
true.
Well,
The scouting has begun, Tasteless, and they're both going to scout each other first with an Overlord and with a probe.
and luckily for Sage, it's he's going to find his opponent right away.
Yes, indeed. That's always very useful. That's going to allow him to go Nexus first instead of Forge first. And anytime you can do that, that is a +1 into the Protoss category. Can't do it if you don't scout them, because then they might have a quick pool. People do that sometimes, Tasteless.
It does happen. Now we have the drone coming out here to plant the hatchery. The probe can deny that. Cannot just build with another unit in the way. And now we have little Star of David that he's going to be making around here.
Making a lot of pentagons.
Yep. Now, as you can see, a frustrating moment here for Lucira right at the start with Sage just denying that. This is something, if you're not very highly ranked in StarCraft, you should always be doing stuff like this. It actually takes a very good player for this not to
die.
Screw up their build.
Indeed, that's quite true. Now, in the meantime, a Nexus has just been started. The pool is almost done, so Lucira's going to have to get that expansion up pretty soon. Of course, if you really need to get this expansion up quick and a probe is down there, you can always bring down another drone, but then they might pile on. Stuff gets messy.
Yeah.
So you might wait for some Zerglings.
I always pylon. If they have like more than one drone down there, I'm just going to make a pylon.
And in fact, he might just send the drone to another location to expand. Oh, and the drone actually just slapped him on the back, Tasteless, killed him.
The drone said, "Enough!
No!
You can't stop my dreams. You can't stop my dreams of becoming a hatchery. This is my choice."
And it looks like the drone might go out and take a gold.
Oh, very sexy.
Yeah, and I mean, that's fine, man.
Kind of like what we saw Fruit Dealer do against Slayer's Boxer at BlizzCon.
Yeah, we've seen Sen do this a lot against MC at the NASL Finals as well.
Yeah.
And, well, Sage is getting his cannon up, and the cannon is actually just slightly late.
Yeah,
this is
did
actually
Sage
really
actually just screw up?
Yeah, he
oh
really
my
screwed
God.
up. Not just a little screw up. Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. I thought that was a little bit too much to the
I know.
side.
I thought the exact same thing. I thought that actually wouldn't blow
up. Sage would never do that to us. But no, he had the placement exactly right. I thought there was going to be a hole into that cannon. Anyways, let's pretend this never happened.
All right.
Now the cannon is up. He will make a cybernetics core there ASAP. Started both gases in his main already.
You can basically copy Sage's build down to the T if the Zerg goes hatchery first. If the Zerg goes pool first, you have to be careful how early that pool is.
Yes, exactly. You have to be very careful on that.
You got it. But if you see him doing a standard econ game, then you really got to do stuff like what Sage is doing right now.
I'm excited to see what he does end up doing now. The drone's going to go ahead and get those gold minerals going. He is getting that third base as well before a gas. So Lucira is going to go with the most insanely quick big economy. He's getting more queens. He's just droning up because he can't really be attacked yet. Now, there is a Zealot on the way for Sage, and there's a cool little thing you can do. Because they don't get gas, you can make a Zealot and then also a Stalker real quick thereafter, and actually start to harass, because they are
really good.
so light on lings. And even if they're slow lings, you can kind of get away anyways.
Yeah, a Zealot and a Stalker combination together can kill off quite a multitude of Zerglings. And you can also just do little things like try to take out Overlords that might be on the map.
A Queen perhaps. There's a lot of things you can do. Now, Sage has started his +1 attack. He is getting a third Geyser.
I'm surprised he's putting the Twilight Council there, where like you could just run up the ramp and see it. I mean, I suppose that's the last place I guess a Zerg might think to check, you know?
Yeah.
But still,
it is an interesting
I'm just sort of surprised with that. I have to think about that more.
Well, we have the Zealot in the gold drone line, and he's already killed one drone.
We need to get a shot of the Zealot here in the drone line. Yep.
Well, he's left the drone line now, but
you got to believe us, it really happened.
Yeah. Anyways, he withdraws after just slightly harassing the economy, and these are little moves that you can do to try to build your way back into the game. We do have speed and +1 started for Zerglings. And 5 gates being thrown up by Sage. So this is interesting. He might be trying to hit... I'm trying to figure out exactly what type of time he's trying to hit because... Oh, charge! Oh,
weird. Oh my god, okay.
There are some cool builds you can do with this. One does include Archons, and I'm hoping that's what he's going to do. I'm hoping that we're going to see a
I think
High
we're absolutely going to see Archon, Zealot.
Yeah, not a DT Shrine, but a High Templar Shrine. That's what I'm hoping to see. He's getting that +1 so he can completely demolish Lings, and if you hit a really sweet timing with Charge Lots and Archons, it's hard for even Roaches to stop it, because Roaches one-on-one against Zealots, they actually don't do well at all. But it's all in the microing, so the charge is going to help out immensely. The late layer from Lucira is going to punish him because he won't have Roach speed as quickly as well. And there you go. He's absolutely going for it.
This is actually a build that was used... very similar to a build that was used in StarCraft 1 in about 2006.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're quite right.
It's the same build.
Yeah,
and then there was a variation that they did of this where they would get armor burst instead of +1 attack because Zergs were actually responding with +1 armor.
Yeah.
So then the Protoss would just get +1 armor, so it nullified their...
Yeah, their armor didn't mean anything.
So this is literally the same build.
Yeah, and he's actually getting +1 armor himself right now to make sure that didn't happen. And with that +1 attack, that's all it's ripping through Zerglings. I'm loving this Tasteless. I'm like going crazy right now.
Well, this is just... And the beauty of the build like this is that it's so easy to economize it perfectly because the Templars eat up all the gas, the Zealots eat up all the minerals.
It's very easy to macro. You just have to... I mean, you have to go back a little bit more because the Zealots build really quickly, but it's easy to control and easy to macro.
Yeah.
It's a great build.
And it is the perfect response to anybody who's going to go for a 3-base build for Zerg.
Well, I cannot wait to see how well he does with it. In fact, he's going up to meet with a couple Archons and some Zealots, and I don't see Lucira actually living through this very well, as these do have +1 with the +1 armor on the way. The 2 Archons are going to do insane damage. In fact, they one-shot Zerglings right now with that +1, and here we go indeed.
Not a terrible angle here for the Zerg.
Yeah, no, that's the best angle you could have ever gotten, and that is a lot of Lings,
I actually think it's even enough, though. The Archon's getting low. Well, those 2 Archons now taken out. The Zerg, I think, actually can hold this. You know, the angling right there from the Zerg was too good.
Now, if Lucira had seen that there were that many Zerglings, he could have waited another round or two and been clumped up a bit more.
Sage could have clumped up more,
That's what I meant. I'm sorry. But yeah, if you clump up a little bit more, see, he was completely spread out, which allows for surrounding. Now, even though we talked that build way up and told you how great it was, and then it got totally owned like that, it is actually a really good build. Now, of course, Sage is going to be pretty dead from here. But
Sage actually, I think it's just lost. The problem when you do a build like that, well, not the problem, the burden when you have a build like that is you have to have everything angled absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, you want as little surface area as possible. If Zerglings can actually surround your Zealots and Archons, then they don't do as well. I mean, that's a lot of DPS coming in from the Zerg, a lot of damage per second. And, I mean, it was well done by Lucira. He did a great job, but with the upgrades and what Sage had gone for, he definitely could have had a better result there.
Yeah. Well, we have the 2 evolution chambers right now for the Zerg. Just really helping out here. This kind of upgrade battle is... Actually, I don't think there's really another option for Sage right now.
Yeah, Sage...
When you do a timing build that's that strong, you have to make it work.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to take a third. How is he going to be able to actually do that, especially with Roaches on the way, the +1 for Roaches?
Oh, and he's making him dance.
Yeah, Lucira knows how far ahead he is.
They're doing little flips now.
And now the Roaches coming up, and these Roaches do have that +1 armor. The Zealots alone are not going to do any well against that. Early on, maybe. Nice Psy Storm there, forcing him back. But, you know, at this point, seeing the Psy Storm, what Lucira actually has to do is go ahead and upgrade Burrow. That's like a great counter to the Psy Storm. And Sage doing a great job so far, doing as much damage as he actually can. And it looks like the Roach is going to be too much.
Wow. Really well done by Lucira. He actually read that situation
I'm really glad that Sage showed that build. I don't know if we've actually seen that build done in GSL yet.
I have not.
It's a build that I've known about for quite a while, but we haven't seen used at the pro level that much. So props to him for trying that out. But Lucira, enforcing his might, surrounding those units with his upgraded +1 attack Zerglings.
Really nice.
Doing a great job.
Well, now right now, Hoseo has a kind of a problem on their hands because they're going to have to pick a player who is going to be able to take on somebody as good as Lucira.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do, in fact. Look at that.
All right.
I got a gift.
We got a box of
Googims.
All right. Great. It's a good day
Whatever
for everybody
that
here
is.
except for Sage.
Yeah.
So, don't count NSH out. They're very good.
Oh, no,
but
they have a deep lineup, man.
this is a tough situation, though. Who do you put against Lucira?
That's a
because
really
they
good
already
question.
they have Nestea now. For some reason, they haven't been using Nestea, which is really weird. But
you have to have, but I mean, you have to treat Lucero like he's the best Zerg in the world. You have
Exactly.
to pull out every stop to kill him. I mean, this is a guy he is amongst the top 3 or so Zergs in the entire world. So let me think for a minute. Who do I actually want to go out right now? I wonder how good Sculpt's
I was wondering about Seal's
is.
CBZ.
I would skip that.
But he's the number 1 Zerg on the ladder. I mean, that means he's got a pretty good experience with
Certainly,
all sorts of Zerg versus Zerg.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
In mirror matchups, if you have a guy who's really, really high ranked on the ladder,
I think
which
I
is
would-
he's playing against all sorts
Yeah.
of people, and he's still very consistently good.
I think I might save him for MVP though. But it's a good point.
I would go with Seal.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who their best
They
Zerg
might not
sniper
do
will
that,
be.
but that's what I would pick. So who's it going to be?
I don't know, man. This is a hard choice. They have a huge range of players, but I'm not sure who their best Zerg sniper is on NSH.
Yeah, I really don't know. Is that Tassadar?
I think it's Skull. Oh wait, no, maybe
I
it
think
is
that's
Tassadar.
Tassadar.
I don't know all the faces of everyone.
Yeah,
you
that's
got it,
definitely
Tasteless.
Tassadar. So, Tassadar's their pick. Okay, not a bad pick. Tassadar's very good. He's had a lot of success recently.
Well, he's definitely going to pick a better map for the matchup as well.
Yeah,
And he's going to
absolutely.
pick a map that he can forge it past expand on, but doesn't necessarily have to. He can do a rush on absolutely if he wants. And that map, Tasteless, is going to be dual sight.
Dual Sight is not a bad map, I suppose. I think if he tried to drag the game out into a macro game, I could see a Protoss winning that as long as he can handle Zerg drops and Nida swarming.
Very true. I mean, the map has a limited number of expansions. It's got several different paths you can go down, so creep spreading is going to be a little bit harder.
Yeah.
I'm interested, man. Let's see what type of ability pulls out.
All right, we're going to have a 5-minute break, and when we come back, we're going to have Lucira against Tassadar. Stay tuned.